Souzia was once a beautiful girl, and when she was 15, a young, hardworking man wanted her hand in marriage. Her family agreed, they thought it would be best, and she was excited. The day of the wedding came, and then everyone found out that Souzia was not baptized, and so she couldn't get married. Her fiancé left her, and she was distraught. She would walk around town still wearing her wedding dress, but when she found out that her former fiancé was to remarry, she went mad, she ran and screamed at the top of her lungs in pain. She approached the cliff and she ran off the cliff and she immediately died. Ever since then, her spirit has been said to haunt men, specifically drunkards out late at night and womanizers. She lures men by appearing beautiful and bathing near rivers and creeks. And then when they get close enough, she turns into a horrible, terrifying spirit, and this scares most men to death. But if they don't die, then they go insane.
Aliens don't live in space, they live in our oceans. The monstrosity that you just witnessed is the Magnapina or big fin squid. These squids grow over 23 feet long and hold their arms at 90 degrees to their body, making it look like they're holding a marionette puppet. Except the puppet is you or whatever it feels like eating. But by far, the scariest thing about this Slenderman squid is that we really don't know anything about it. The first one was discovered just 20 years ago and it's only been captured on footage a handful of times, which is because these alien-like squids are usually lurking at around 15,000 feet below the ocean's surface, which is the equivalent of over 12 Empire State Buildings deep. And here's a fact that's probably going to keep you up tonight. Pretty much all the footage we have of the big fin squids are juveniles. So what you've been seeing are just the cute little baby big fin squids, and we have no idea how large the adults can get. Although we don't know much, we know that they do have suction cups lining their long appendages, making their legs extremely sticky, so if you get caught up in that, you're probably not getting out. I don't think even the top G could fight his way out of that suction. But if one thing's for sure, it's that
Chupacabra, aliens, and things, right? In 1994, two Puerto Rican men have claimed to have witnessed two glowing bright lights that crashed into a mountain. According to these two men, they went over to see exactly what it was, and it was, well, you kinda already could guess, a flying saucer, but like crashed this time. However, it wasn't the unidentifying object that scared them. It's what came out of it. According to these men, what came out of this flying saucer snarling and growling were dozens and dozens of what looked like hybrids between reptilians and dog. Reptilian dog. Where have I heard? Oh. Coincidentally, and a year later, 1995, the first reported sighting of a chupacabra came into being. That's when the military came in and told these two men they saw nothing. So I'm technically doing something illegal. FBI, open up! That's fair.
This character was beloved by children, but is surrounded by a terrifying urban legend.
Its name is Fafao, and it became a hit with Brazilian children in the 1980s.
Fafao, which translates to cute in Portuguese. Due to his high popularity, he received his own TV show as well as a line of plush toys. But towards the end of the 1980s, a scary urban legend popped up about this plush toy. The legend claimed that a knife was hidden inside of the doll's body, supposedly intended for evil rituals. And it also didn't help that he started to be compared to another 1980s doll. When parents became curious, they cut open the doll to reveal that its spinal cord was a long black spike.
There's a trend happening right now on TikTok where people are recording themselves playing a game called Red Door, Yellow Door. And honestly, some of these videos are pretty creepy. The point of the game is to put yourself under hypnosis with the help of someone else so that you can see or visualize a room filled with doors. You can open any of these doors. However, you have to be careful to not open certain doors. If you open a door and you see a man in a suit behind it, you have to stop the game immediately. The same applies if you see an old lady or a room filled with clocks. Here's a video of someone playing this game, and it's pretty creepy to say the least.
Kitchen. And that's it. Pretty much. So do you hear anything? No. Go towards the light more. Go like more like in the center of the kitchen. Yes. Alright. I'm in the center now. It's like now it's like neon white. I'm in a totally different room now. It's all white. All white? Is there anyone with you? No. Wait, This dude is just all plain black man.
Get up! Are you okay? Are you okay?
What?
Are you okay?
Yeah.
Are you alive?
Yeah.
It was an all plain black man? Are you serious? Are you joking?
No.
Oh my god.
What?
He was in the game.
Okay.
Are you okay?
What? No.
Oh my god.
What?
What's weird about this is that it doesn't explain why you have to avoid these things. Now, you could play the game and find out for yourself, but personally I wouldn't, mainly because I just don't want to come out feeling traumatized, which is something that most people report feeling after playing this game.
Ten Spooky Facts, Part 6. Number 1. Elmer McCurdy died an outlaw in 1911, and his mummified body went from owner to owner, traveling across the U.S. and ending up at the Pike Amusement Zone in Long Beach, California. There it sat for many years, mistaken for a wax figure. It wasn't discovered that it was a real corpse until 1976, during the filming of a $6 Million Man episode. The crew accidentally broke off its arm, exposing the human bone inside. Number 2. Pigs will eat anything, including humans, even if they're still alive. They have the ability to digest the entire body, even bones, with the exception of teeth. Number 3. Modern-day refrigerators are magnetic for a reason. In the past, refrigerators were only able to be opened from the outside, and so in 1956 the Refrigerator Safety Act was passed. The reason? A number of cases arose where children playing hide and seek would accidentally trap themselves inside and eventually succumb to death. Number 4. Ancient Romans would often rush into arenas to drink the blood of fallen gladiators, hoping to gain their strength and vitality, but also believed the blood could cure epilepsy. Gladiator sweat and dirt were also collected and sold as aphrodisiacs and status symbols. Number 5. Mummy brown was a popular pigment containing real ground-up remains of mummified ancient Egyptians. Demand sometimes overwhelmed the available supply, leading to occasional substitution of contemporary corpses of slaves or criminals. It began to fall from popularity during the late 19th century when its composition became more generally known to artists. By the start of the 20th century, Mummy brown had largely ceased production in its traditional form, owing to a continued decline in the supply of the main ingredient as well as a significant drop in demand. Number 6. Which windows are windows installed at a 45-degree angle? These are unique to New England, mainly the state of Vermont. The origin comes from the belief that witches cannot fly their broomsticks through tilted windows, and so installed at that angle, the inhabitants believed they would be protected from a home invasion. Another theory is that as farmhouses expanded to accommodate a bigger family, it left them few spots to add windows needed for more lighting and ventilation, and so this cost-effective method may have been used. Number 7. In the 16th and 17th century, Europeans practiced medicinal cannibalism. They would often ingest tinctures, comprised of powdered mummy parts, usually bones but especially skulls for things such as headaches. Sometimes even the moss and decay that grew on them would be used. They also used fat to treat open wounds, and even believed ingesting fresh blood would help cure most ailments. Number 8. The body of pioneering researcher on radioactivity, Marie Curie, is still radioactive to this day, along with her notebooks that also still give off radiation. Like Marie, her notes are kept in boxes lined with lead. Number 9. A rat king is a phenomenon created when a large group of rats become fused together by their tails due to ice, dirt, hair, blood, or even feces. Encounters with this horrible phenomenon inspired some of humanity's greatest myths, with sightings going back as far as the 1500s. Number 10. 28 years after Salvador Dali's death, his body was exhumed to settle a paternity test. They were surprised to find that his mustache was perfectly preserved in the 10 past 10 position, and his hair was also intact.